All right, so you've booked those tickets to Brussels.
Always a good choice.
Definitely. It's one of those cities that kind of sneaks up on you.
It does, yeah.
Like you think you know what to expect, but then boom, you turn a corner
Right.
and there's something amazing and unexpected.
Totally. It's a city of contrasts, for sure.
Exactly. And that's why we're here to make sure you don't miss a beat.
Right. Cut through the noise.
We've dug up this list of the 5 must-go spots in Brussels, the places that really give you the true flavor of the city.
The essentials, yeah.
And trust me, these are not your typical tourist traps. Well, maybe one,
Maybe just one.
but we'll get to that. First up, let's talk about the Grand Place. Have you been?
Of course. It's like stepping into a history book.
It's one of those squares, you step out and you're just like blown away by the sheer beauty of it all.
You really are.
The architecture is just incredible. Those guild halls.
The guildhalls. Each one more ornate than the last. Right. But there's more to them than meets the eye. Back in the day, these weren't just pretty buildings, they were powerhouses. Each guild, the bakers, the weavers, the merchants, they controlled their respective trades with an iron fist. And that influence, it's woven into the very fabric of the city.
It's amazing to think about all that history.
Mm.
And right there in the middle of it all is the town hall.
Dominating the skyline.
Yeah, it is an absolute masterpiece of Gothic architecture. Pictures don't do it justice.
Not even close. All right, are you ready for something completely different?
Always.
What have you got? Let's jump from the medieval to the futuristic. Let's go to the Atomium.
Atomium. It's like, how do you even explain the Atomium? It's massive, it's shiny, it's like a giant atom just plopped down in the middle of the city.
Well, it's actually a model of an iron crystal magnified like 165 billion times.
That makes more sense, I guess. But it's still mind-blowing. But what was the thinking behind building something so, well, unique?
It's all about context. Picture this. It's 1958. The world's just coming out of the dark days of World War II. There's this sense of hope in the air, a belief that science and technology could build a brighter future. The Atomium, it captured that optimism perfectly.
It's like a monument to progress.
Exactly. And the views from the top are just incredible. You can see the entire city all the way to the horizon. Don't forget your camera.
Definitely. It's funny how these places, they each represent a different side of Brussels, you know. The Grand Place, the Atomium.
For sure.
Speaking of different sides, you can't talk about Brussels without mentioning a certain iconic statue.
Oh, you mean the one that everyone crowds around for a photo op?
The one and only Manneken Pis, 2 feet tall, and probably the most famous peeing statue in the world.
He's a bit of a local hero with a story shrouded in mystery. Nobody knows for sure how he ended up there or what he represents. Some say he saved the city from a fire, others that he's a tribute to a mischievous boy who, well...
Let's just say he had a relieving experience.
Right.
Look, whatever the real story is, he's become a symbol of Brussels.
Yeah.
He's got that cheeky, irreverent spirit that you just have to love.
It wouldn't be a trip to Brussels without a selfie with him.
Exactly. So we've done history, we've done futuristic architecture, we've done public urination. What's next?
Well, how about a touch of royalty? Let's head over to the Royal Palace.
The Royal Palace, yes. It's grand, it's imposing, it's easy to think it's just for show, but...
But it's not. It's the official residence of the Belgian royal family.
And they're not just figureheads, right? They actually play an active role in Belgian politics.
Absolutely. The monarchy in Belgium is very much a part of the present, not just the past. It's a fascinating dynamic.
Definitely check to see if there are any tours or open days while you're in Brussels. It's worth it to get a peek inside.
It is.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground. Last, but certainly not least, we need to talk about the Magritte Museum.
Ah, Magritte. Now we're talking art. And not just any art. Surrealism at its finest.
Now, if you're not familiar with René Magritte...
Prepare to have your mind bent.
Yeah. His work, it's like he takes everyday objects, everyday scenes, and he twists them just slightly out of place.
Just enough to make you question everything you think you know. Those bowler hats, the clouds, the pipes... They're not just objects anymore. They're symbols, they're dreams, they're puzzles waiting to be solved.
It's like he's trying to make you see the world through new eyes. And you know, once you've been to the museum, you'll start to see Magritte's influence everywhere in Brussels. The way a building is designed, a piece of street art, it's like his work has seeped into the city itself.
And that's what makes Brussels so captivating. It embraces that surreal, playful energy. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Just like Magritte himself.
So there you have it, our whirlwind tour of the 5 must-see spots in Brussels. From the historical grandeur of the Grand Place to the mind-bending art of Magritte, Brussels has something for everyone. And hey, if you find yourself with some extra time, wander off the beaten path a bit. You never know what hidden gems you might discover in this incredible city.